Good morning, everybody. It's Hammer. Today is Friday, January 31st, 2025. I can't believe January is almost over. That's 1/12 of 2025 already in the history books. Man, it goes quick. Anyway, good morning, and thank you for joining me. You can join me live each and every weekday morning for the Daily Mortgage Rate Update, the only place on the web where you can join me live, and it doesn't cost you anything. Broadcasting to you on Facebook and on YouTube. Just because it's free doesn't mean it's bad or that it's not great. It just means that I enjoy you, you enjoy me. So if you're here this morning, say good morning. Let me know that you're here. If you are watching on the replay, don't forget to go ahead and give us a hashtag replay in the comments. Let me know that you were here. Let Facebook know that you were here, or YouTube know that you were here. In fact, if you are on Facebook, go ahead and give that thumbs up and make sure that you do make a comment. It helps the algorithm, just gets it in front of more people on the replays and stuff. So I appreciate it. Plus, it makes me feel like I'm not sitting here talking to the back of my phone. And I actually get to enjoy you. So if you're watching on the replay, don't forget to also do the same thing. So let's say hi to the live folks. Who do we got here this morning, this wonderful Friday? TGIF, baby. I'm ready for an end to this week. But good morning, Cindy Pulliam. Great to have you here. Haven't seen you in a while, or at least that I have recognized the name in a bit. So it's good to see you. Mallory Fotiadis, good morning. Tim Klyla, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. James Mahan, good morning, sir. Great to have you. Mike Brown, great to see you as well. Dan Crowley, always a strong supporter. Dan, I appreciate you, my friend. Amy Blauser, good morning. Krista Votow, hey, Krista. Hope all is going well in South Carolina. Or is Charleston? Yeah, that's South Carolina, right? Because Savannah is Georgia, but Charleston, South Carolina. Good morning, Kenny Rivard, Mike Schmolgen, great to see you. Megan Lindberg, great to have you here as well. Rob Stewart, good to see you. Casey Roberts, good morning. Diane Dixon, great to see you as well. All right, my friends, let's go ahead and clear the screen, and I'll tell you what's going on. But before I do, remember, if you would like a quick text reminder that I'm going live. I send out a text each morning that makes it easy for you to go ahead and click the link and hop on. You can unsubscribe at any time, and but you can sign up for those at hmmr.io/reminder, or use this cool QR code over here on the screen, hmmr.io/reminder. Good morning, Russell McDonald. Krista, thank you for tagging some other LOs. Always appreciate that. Thank you very much. So, all right, let me go ahead and share my screen. We'll talk about what we got going on this morning. So this morning we had the PC inflation data coming out. Yesterday, my end-of-day lock advice, I said, hey, if you've got something closing near term and you're worried about it, lock it. Otherwise, there really shouldn't be too much that we have to worry about. There were some rumblings that it could actually show. Man, listen to that wind, y'all, if you hear that. We get 35, 40 mile an hour winds coming through over the ridge. So that's what's going on this morning. Anyway, taking a look here, that data came out at 8:30, and there was a little bit of a drop when it did come out, and then almost an instant recovery. So since then, we've lost a little bit of ground. Mortgage-backed securities down a whopping 3 basis points on the day. Certainly nothing to worry about. Same thing here with the 10-year Treasury yield, 4.51. Now, if you look over here, let's see, if you look over here, you can see that 10-year is testing this red line. That red line is the 50-day moving average. It was at 4.48 yesterday. It's at 4.48 today. A couple of basis points better than where we're at right now. You can already see that the 10-year is pulling away from that. Now, next week, the technicals are going to be a little less important, because it's going to be a lot of labor data next week. We're going to see the JOLTS data. We're going to see, of course, the BLS jobs data next Friday. And that's where things can definitely move around. So what I would suggest is, if you've got anything closing the first half of February, between now and Valentine's Day, I'd consider locking it up. If we take a look here, you can see that mortgage bonds are also pulling back from the 200-day moving average, this purple line right here. We didn't see anything special this morning in the PCE data that was going to push it above that. In fact, when we take a look at the PCE data, let me go ahead and, I can actually leave that because it fit perfectly on the screen where it was. So let me readjust that. Okay. So taking a look here this morning, the Fed's favorite inflation gauge, which is the PCE, personal consumption expenditures, ends 2024 with a muted advance. Core PC prices rose 0.2% in December, in line with estimates. Signs of consumer stress emerge in weaker incomes and less savings. We know that. We know that people are spending money they don't have. They're living on credit. So I'm not judging. It's just we have to be aware of what's going on with all the headlines and the realities of the economy. So, but the GDP yesterday, gross domestic product still came in 2.5 for the initial fourth quarter reading. So, Federal Reserve preferred measure of underlying inflation remained muted in December, and real incomes were soft, which should support further reductions in interest rates this year. Now, is that what we are seeing here? Let me go ahead and I'm going to give up and adjust this. Hold on, let me just get rid of this. And oh my goodness, I got so many things open right now. Let me move that over here. Okay. And one more. Let's get rid of the phone. Okay. All right. I got things in the background. What can I tell you? There we go. Let's move that. So right now, expectations of a March rate cut at 84%. Yesterday, they were at 82%. A week ago, they were at 72%. So there's a little bit less of an expectation that we're going to see a rate cut. If you look a month ago, though, check this out. It was almost a 50% expectation we'd see a rate cut by March. That has dropped all the way down to less than 20%. So market's more realistic that we're not likely to see that. But they do think that there is, some underlying variables going on. And we could see more with that next week with the jobs data. If the jobs data shows some signs of weakness, we could see some improvement in rates. Now, do we want to float into it? Got to be careful which loans you want to float into it, but it's definitely a possibility and something we can be aware of. So taking a look at what expectations are for May, it's almost a coin flip to see a rate cut by May. Markets are pricing in a cut by June, though. 70% expectation, 70% probability that we'll see at least a single rate cut by June. Now, did any of that change when we got the PCE data this morning here? Not really. So it didn't really make any change. So although these headlines say, hey, this should support further reductions in interest rates this year, it certainly wasn't enough to make a difference one way or the other. Taking a look and seeing what expectations were compared to where it actually came in. The headline month over month was expected 0.3% and came in at 0.3%. The core was 0.2 estimated, came in at 0.2. I mean, everything came in exactly. You could see that here. The only thing that was different is real consumer spending was estimated to be at 0.3 and it came in at 0.4. The main thing here is the core services, right? The core inflation stuff, which removes energy and food prices. It rose 0.3% from a year before that. And, the most on an unrounded basis in a year. It fell 0.24, right? 0.24. So that's a good sign. Inflation is not ticking up. Now, there's still more talk about tariffs. You've got this going on here. Trump barrels toward tariff showdown with top trade partners. U.S. president set February 1st, which of course tomorrow, as launch date for trade barriers. This is talking about a 25% tariff on about, it's not everything, but it is about $900 billion worth of goods from Canada and Mexico. And Trump vowed to follow through by his self-imposed February 1st deadline, although the president has been known to change his mind. And he does that as part of his whole shtick and the way he negotiates and all that stuff. So we'll see. Right now, though, market's not really all that concerned about the idea that we're going to see those possible tariffs. We're not seeing any big sell-off in bonds. We're not seeing any panic. You're not seeing anything big going on. So there's really not anything you have to worry about with that. It's really not much. So good morning, Christy Resort, Jay Rodriguez. Good to see you, sir. Karen Eldridge, hello as well. So anyone got any questions? Next week, we got a lot going on. Remember, next week we got JOLTS data. We've got, your regular ADP report, which is not too big of a market mover. You're going to get your continuing and new unemployment application, unemployment claims, jobless claims. So that'll come in on Thursday. But Friday's BLS data is going to be the big thing next week. loans that are closing near term, it's not a bad time to consider locking them. When you look at the technicals, it looks like we could be capping out. I mean, you look at where rate sheets have been, by the way. Let's go ahead and throw this back on the screen again one more time. If you take a look here, you could see that yesterday we were unable to break above that 200-day moving average. When you look at a candlestick in the shape that this one is, the body is above the 200-day moving average, which means in overnight trading, we actually started out above it and then fell below it. So it did act as resistance. It stopped us from seeing bonds break above it. They ended the day here. They ended the day here. Today they're here. So we're already cresting, and unless we see some real big weakness in the jobs data next week, it's unlikely we see any movement there. That's why I would go ahead and lock anything that's closing just in the next couple of weeks. Looking at actual rate sheets, I mean, we're seeing some of the best rate sheets that we've seen in January. So going all the way back, 7.07 was a previous best. Mortgage News Daily showing 7.05. Let's see what Optimal Blue. Let's turn off the FHA and Jumbo. We'll just do conforming for the last month or so. So nope, not there. A little further. Okay. So, I mean, looking here, Optimal Blue, we crested at 7.05 and the middle of the month, and we've been improving since then. Got a little bit higher here, ticking lower, got a little bit ticking lower. 6.858. That's better than, 6.858. That's better than we've seen since December. So I would go ahead and think about locking anything closing near term, though. Take that off the table. I just think it's a good time to do that. Again, looking at the technicals, you've got 10-year technical that is bouncing off of the 50-day moving average here. You got mortgage-backed securities pressuring up against the 200-day moving average here. And we don't have any real clear indication that the labor data is going to come in weak next month. And it always seems to surprise us. So Allison said I'm breaking up bad on her end. Am I breaking up for anybody else? Is my internet doing wacky things today, or is that just on Allison's end? Heidi, good morning. And Allison, great to see you. Sorry I'm breaking up. Don't break up with me. Julie Lawrence, good morning. So, all right, my friends, what are you all doing this weekend? I got more honey-do list stuff. Let me show you some things. This is stuff I probably should post on social media, and I don't. Hold on. Come on. Where'd they go? I will share my screen in a second. I just want to bring these up. Hold on a second. Let me get this ready. Screen share. All right. Those of you that think that I'm only just good at rates, this is my pack out collection. For any of my tool friends that like tools, I know somebody's going to come and rob me, but that ain't going to happen. You get shot. So anyway, here, check it out. The new office build, right? This is some drone shots where I'll be putting the new office. This was them digging the footing. I've got some stuff in a temporary storage here, and while I build the new building, and where are we at? Here you go. So this is what it's looking like now. Got it all laid out. We've got the inspection for the footing has been signed off on. So on Monday, they will be pouring concrete, and I will have a beautiful concrete pad here. And on February 18th, they will start building my new office. It'll be up here. So I'll be in by the middle of the month. I'm excited about that. I'll have a workshop downstairs and an office upstairs. And so I'm really excited about that. So that's that. The other cool thing I'll share with you guys, redoing my kitchen. And I don't know how people get along without having a tractor. This was the delivery, like they delivered. I'm going to be doing the cabinets myself. So this is the cabinets. These are 4 out of 5 pallets that were delivered. They came from Raleigh. I've got all new kitchen cabinets. We're going to be installing them, and I'll be doing that. I have them in my garage right now. And then, you can see they're packed in tight. And then you could actually see, here's my pallet jack. This is a 96-inch pallet because this is the pantry and the wall oven unit that are on their sides for this extra, for this really long pallet here. But so these guys will be up there, and I'll be installing that in the first weekend in March 8th and 9th. I'll be installing kitchen cabinets. So I got a lot going on in my world. What do you guys have going on in your world? Tell me more about what's going on with you. So that's my world. Thank you for listening. I appreciate y'all. Christy, that's your birthday, 218. Woo woo! Coco Christie, happy birthday ahead of time. Yasmin Martin, good morning. Karen Eldridge, good to see you. So Mike Schmogan, thank you, sir. So what are y'all doing? Tell me what you're doing this weekend. Anyone got any fun plans? I do enjoy this stuff. We got a week before the Super Bowl, so we'll see what all that brings. But otherwise, it should be a quiet week. As we head into the next week, we shouldn't see things move much. But again, like it says down at the scroller at the bottom, if you got anything closing the first half of February, it's not a bad time to lock it in. We've got good pricing, and we don't know that it's going to get much better from here. So rates aren't really dropping, but it's good pricing, really good pricing. Sean's working Fort Lauderdale home show this weekend for the Realtor Association. Well, best of luck there, my friend. I hope you do well. I hope the weather is good. There's a big turnout, and I hope you pick up some leads, make some good relationships doing that, my friend. Jason has got a club volleyball tournament for your daughter. Well, again, I hope first and foremost she stays healthy, and I hope that she performs well and has a good time. Sports are great. Sean shaking babies and kissing hands. I get you, sir. Mallory's going to Mexico. Good, nice. Have fun. Where are you going to Mexico, Mallory? I'm going to be going to Punta Mita the end of February. Punta Mita. I've got a mastermind group, and we're going to be meeting out there in Punta Mita. So where are you going in Mexico? And then, of course, one of the members of Hammer Solutions, the head of all of our support, is Danielle, and Danielle is in Cabo. She's in Cabo, Mexico. So all the time. She lives there. Mike Morano, good morning, sir. Great to see you. So we're just chatting. If anyone, if you guys are getting bored, I get it. So I'm going to wrap up in a moment. Just wanted to hear what you were doing. That's all. So, all right, my friends, it looks like that's about it, and everyone's getting ready to get off to their day. Next week, we've got a little more of a chance to see things happen. Let's see what happens next week. All right. Join me on Monday. Remember, if you'd like to get a written email lock advice to your inbox, you can sign up at www.ratelockadvice.com. You can get our text alerts at www.ratetextalerts.com. And you should go check out originatorssuccess.com. Find out how we help you get loans from Google and social media. Have a great weekend, Cindy Pulliam. You too as well. Have a fantastic weekend. Have a fantastic weekend all. I'll see you later.